So I'm considering selling my Apple shares. I've been a shareholder since 2012, and obviously the stock has done very well. I've held on to the majority of my shares. I've sold some off to pay for certain items, most recently at $250. The stock right now, pre-market, is trading at $195 and change. And I'm considering selling. When I first entered into Apple, it was trading at a 12 times price to earnings ratio. Today it's trading at 30. The street did not know how Apple was going to maintain its revenue, as most of its sales came from hardware. Apple really exploded when they started getting recurring revenue from its app store, and that made up a larger component of it. And the street believed that it was more predictable, and thus were willing to pay higher multiples for Apple. The challenge for Apple is that they no longer have Steve Jobs. That's one. They have not really introduced that many new and novel products since Steve Jobs departed for upstairs. And the only one that I could really point to that is really transformative, that does not make up that much of our profits, the AirPods. They're really awesome. They're fantastic products. And just for the record, I have a ton of Apple products. I have iPads. I have two of them. We all have iPhones. I have a MacBook. I really am ingrained into the ecosystem, and it's really hard to leave. So with this fantastic ecosystem, what is on the horizon that could make people swallow the cost of leaving, which is huge? I mean, just with the Mac, it's very difficult to get your photos from an Android phone to a Mac. I first got my MacBook when I still had an Android phone, and it was difficult. I had my challenges. It's much easier within the ecosystem of Apple. So what would make somebody like me or you decide to up and leave Apple's walled garden? The fact is that Google has come out with amazing AI.
Tonight's big story is about how Veo 3 can generate video with dialogue just from text prompts.
Sunday night on the savannah. The lion feels sad knowing it has to work on Monday morning.
I love you so much, Veo. You are the inspiration I've always dreamed about.
Everything is different now. There's no going back. We're in a new world.
It's gonna be okay, my friend.
This is all AI generated. It's not perfect, but it's amazing. And the fact is that Google is going to be incorporating all this AI into their products, into their phones. And the reason to have Apple, which still has Siri, it's night and day comparison. It's like an NBA player versus a sixth grader. That's really the way that you can compare the two. And the sad thing is that Siri came out before Google had any voice-enabled AI. And I thought that it was just so magical, even if it didn't work well. Now, the AI works absolutely perfectly, but Apple is still stuck with Siri. And yes, I understand that they're going to OpenAI, to ChatGPT, to try to plug this hole that they have, but they've fallen behind, and now they're reliant on another company rather than built vertical integration, which is what they've usually had. And that I now have to trust another company. I mean, I basically trust Apple. I mean, they've got the App Store and they have stringent regulations, but you never know. And I do trust Apple much more than I do Google, by the way, because Apple makes the majority of its profits, not from selling my data, but from selling me the hardware and taking the profits from that. But when Google AI gets so expansively better, I might be very tempted to switch because I can do so much more with that phone. And I think a lot of people are going to be thinking in that direction. And the thing here that we have to do is we have to have the ability to anticipate the trend, where the river is going, with how it's going to bend. As the great Wayne Gretzky stated, you don't skate to where the puck is, you skate to where it's going. And this is why I've been somewhat successful with my investing career. So with trading at 30 times earnings, and now having OpenAI, having bought Johnny Ive's company, the man who designed the original iPhone, Apple's head designer, and he went off on his own, and Sam Altman and OpenAI paid a pretty penny, $6.5 billion in stock, to have Johnny Ive help design a new product that is definitely meant to compete with the iPhone. They see, innovators, they see all that profit out on the horizon that they can just come and snag. And I just believe, from a very low resolution point of view, that Apple's prospects for increasing their profits, unless they come out with a product that we're all unaware of, I don't know that it's worth the risk at 30 times earnings. It's simply not. Maybe I can take that money, put it into something else, put it into Google that trades at a lower multiple, although Google has its own problems because they're going to be cannibalizing their search engine revenues for AI. But at least they're moving in a direction. At least they see which way the wind is blowing. I don't see Apple as having an answer right now to the rapid onslaught of AI and its development. And so for these reasons, I'm seriously considering selling a bunch of my Apple shares. Let me know what you guys think. Am I right? Do I have a point? What am I missing? Leave it in the comment section. Thumb up the video. If you like this content, feel free to subscribe. Peace.